Thank you very much for watching Punchline Africa Television, all the way from the Political Command Center in the mobile unit. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Viewers, wherever you are in Africa, in Cairo, in Cape Town, in Khartoum, in Nairobi, in Kampala, in Kigali, Bujumbura, Dar es Salaam, Lagos, oh my God, Ghana, Accra, Conakry, Guinea-Bissau. Amir Cabral died and left us a message. Never give up until you are given up. Thank you very much. This afternoon, it is the Africa Showdown. This is a showdown for Africa where we look at specific countries. Countries that need our attention, need to be discussed, need to be given advice, need to see the obstacles, the challenges that they face. Thank you very much. On behalf of Punchline Africa, I welcome all of you to this show. This show this afternoon will be commanded by Miriam and myself back in the general headquarters in Nairobi, Kenya. Is Miriam Ogutu. Good afternoon, Miriam.
Doctor, very good afternoon to you and a very good afternoon to our viewers out there.
Thank you very much. We have a lot to bring to you this afternoon, including one, Kenya politics, East or West. BBI went through. What next? 2, marriages and homes, was it? I don't know, Miriam will correct me there. African marriages and homes. We seem to be talking about African unity without realizing that we need African marriage. Intermarriages are the only solution for our problems. That you not, my children, for example, most of them, some of them don't speak my language. My grandchildren, most of them speak English, Portuguese, and French. Wow, what my family is mixed. My daughters went in different directions. I'm happy, I'm proud. As a parent, I don't care, but I only one thing I said, I already know English. Why do you bring me more English? Bring me Portuguese. Kabisa, there is one who sings Portuguese. Wala wakiba. Where? It can't, I won't need any interpreter when I arrive in Lisbon. When I'm going to watch my favorite team, I think Tawish knows what my favorite team is. Apart from Liverpool, there is only one team that I like in the world with Messi.
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Cantonia. Barcelona. You don't know why I like Cantonia. This show is a great show. A great show by Pan-Africanists, by great men who are going to speak on the panel. We have Dr. Joseph Nyachama, we have Douglas Keremi, we have Tawish Olisasana, we have Sean Wesonga, we have Javan Karanja. Nemaliza Kazi, I've finished the introduction. We shall hear their voices. I hand it over to Miriam now. I'll disappear for a few minutes and I come back, then struggle with the topics of Kenya. BBI, we are over. Next, let's bring it on. We shall finish, we shall get the BBI. But on the question of marriage, all of you, I ask the panel to be very moderate. Please. Because as a parent, you don't need to be insulted for a daughter that you worked hard to produce. But above all, I want to thank one thing before I leave. I want to thank Miriam Ogutu for being a good mother. Happy Good Mother's Day, Miriam.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I have your flowers and chocolate coming tomorrow. That's the only day I celebrate while alive.
Thank you.
Sina, I don't have any deni ya mutu tena. That's the only day. I will send you chocolates and your flowers tomorrow, Miriam.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Happy Mother's Day and a happy Mother's Day to my mother. And my mother delivered me in 1955 October 22nd at 3:30 p.m. PM, daylight. I am a daylight guy. I came out at 3:30 in Chigai dispensary. Chigai dispensary. Wow, that's the guy. He came out. I've no shame to tell my age. Those who want to hang can hang. That's my age. What will you do? Some of them, when I tell my age, they say, this guy, look, but you are looking like a 45. So what? Eat like me. Woohoo! Eat like me. Usichanganye pesa za watu. Usikuwe na uizi. Uizi watakutakataka panga. If you have sharp, long hand, touching in people's money, watakata wewe na panga. So, don't steal. Stay firm. Trust in God. Here, thank you, mother. You know, our mothers are very important, William. They could decide to divorce, to abort. Imagine my mother aborted. Where would this man be, Matanga? Can you think reverse? Think about your mother, our mothers. If they decide to abort, wanakukanyaga unaingia latrine. Yes, unaingia latrine, haki ya Mungu. This David Matanga would be nowhere. Ruto will be very comfortable wherever he's sitting. Because the man is not there. Isn't it, Kirimi? Eh? The man would say, where is this guy again? Yesterday, I wrote a very good piece. It's a good, once in a while, you write a balanced piece. I said, this was a great day for Dr. William Ruto. Give him peace and space to marry the daughter. Wherever he married, you see, marriage does not choose. I have seen some other people, Miriam, we shall soon tomorrow bring that topic of unfiltered. Itagonga watu kesho. Itawagonga kesho. On this one only, itawagonga. Nana anakuambia iko age kwa hiyo kitu. Wapi? Hey! Why is Melinda running away from Mr. Bill Gates? Where Kirimi? Aterere? Why? Where tuambie? The psychologist is here, Dr. Joseph Nachama. The human resource man is here. Will tell you if you don't perform, you go down. There's somewhere Bill Gates is not performing. So don't bring problems here. Thank you very much, viewers. That is the opening, and that's now our show. Later on, we shall see Nigeria collapse. Is Nigeria in anguish? Does it need help? 2, Somalia brings back hope. Our struggle with Somalia, we are happy now. Safari Majo, we respect you as His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Somalia. I have talked to about 3-4 presidents since that day. And I'm happy to tell you that whatever you did to me and what you wrote about me and what you told Zachariah about me, I have forgiven you. Therefore, the path is now reconciliation. Let's hope this time you stick within the reconciliatory circles. Yes, I've forgiven you. Let's shift, let's map the reconciliatory tone. Then later on we see on the Wednesday, the man from the part of Africa, the land of Matoke, will be sworn in for the 6th. How many times? 6 times. Woo! Miriam, that's your topic, not for me. My views are known and they can itch. You know, my views on Uganda can pierce. And somebody could fly with a jet fighter to finish me. So let's leave it for you people to discuss and Tawisha and others. And later on, we come down to international scene. Is China causing us more havoc? Everywhere, China. COVID, China. Now, another satellite. Yesterday, I warned the people that it could land in your house. You know what the people were telling me? I wish someone, about 20 of them wrote and said, I wish it landed on your house. Am I most hated now because of Kenya? Am I the most hated man surely in the world? someone wishing you for that thing to land on your house. But now that aside, we want to find out, why is China going wrong with everything? Then we come to the monster ICC, the sentencing of Africans. Does it solve the conflict on the continent of Africa? Thank you very much, Miriam. Let me run to another appointment.
All right.
Those are the topics. I am coming back. Ndio tuchange, tujipange. Let me do another job somewhere. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you so much. That is Dr. David Matanga, who has opened for us the show there. Thank you so much for that introduction. And I think he has dealt with the matter of marriage and families. I think over the weekend, the daughter of our Deputy President, William Ruto, was celebrating her engagement to a Nigerian man. And congratulations to them. I don't know if we have anything else to say, but Kenyans had a lot to say. And Tawish, they were wondering, kwani akukuwa na hustler? You know, Kenyans always have, can turn something so something, and make it something out of brilliant, I think, because for me, love is love. It doesn't matter.
Truly. I also did take so much critique in as far as that engagement was concerned, because I noticed there was one of our resident panelists here was making those comments that maybe it is time we should have seen the daughter getting married to yet another hustler. You see, there's a varied definition of hustlers. Maybe in their circles, that is another hustler for the lady. But again, we want to wish, like you've said, we want to wish them all the best. Mm-hmm. I think it's a good step in life when someone is getting, or rather getting someone who they are finally engaging to or finally settling down with. It's a good thing. We want to wish them all the best. That is the much I can say for now.
Yeah. And of course, as I said, there congratulations to June Ruto, the daughter of Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto. I think we just leave that right there. But I still need to stick on the DP and other things, because under that we still have politics and economy. And Deputy President William Ruto held a meeting with leaders from the Rift Valley and Mount Kenya on Friday, just a day after lawmakers allied to him voted for the Building Bridges Initiative, the BBI, at the National Assembly. Dr. Ruto met 33 leaders at Nakuru Senator Susan Kihika's residence in Nairobi in what he said was discussions on re-engineering Kenyan's economy. Douglas Kirimi, start it off for us. This time there were only 33 lawmakers who met.
Miriam, thank you for having me on the show, and a very happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you so much.
Happy Mother's Day, Miriam Ogutu, and also every mother out there. And for William Ruto to speak about an economy, Miriam, I've pronounced myself, and I'm not going to change my mind today about his irresponsible and reckless statement about the economy because the daughter gotten married to a Nigerian. I wish her all the best, but for the father who is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, it is baseless for him to be able to talk about how he is going to revive the economy. Miriam, these are elected people. The Constitution of the Republic of Kenya gives us an opportunity to give these lawmakers an opportunity to revive our economy and to be able to talk about the economy in Parliament, in the precincts of Parliament. That is where we sent them. But these people have sent themselves on an errand to work for Dr. William Ruto, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Miriam, when you look at a man who talks about the economy, since 1992, when he left university, immediately they started plundering the economy of this nation. He went on to become an MP, mentioned in every major scandal in this nation, Miriam. You cannot mention corruption, including Googling today is on a Sunday. If you Google today corruption in Kenya, you cannot miss the name of Dr. William Ruto. But this is the same man after plundering the economy for over 30 years. Today he comes up with the shenanigans of meeting our members of parliament and also coming together with the pseudo-economists to be able to, people who sank our nation, people who have even spoken about our nation to colonial powers. This is a man who wants to come together and talk about a bottom-up approach of our economy. Miriam, we want to do justice to Dr. William Ruto. I said that this time we need to be able to do an analysis of fact by fact. He has been a deputy president for over 8 years. These 8 years, for the past 8 years, what has he been able to achieve so that they can be able to build on that in the same, when he comes to take over in 2022 after 16 months. This is a man that cannot be able to tell us what is his scorecard as far as the economy is concerned. The only thing I can remember William Ruto today being on a Sunday, Miriam, is getting us Rotich for over 6 years, who ran down the economy of this nation, borrowed enormous amount of money, and they squandered that. The only thing I can remember him is the fake promises to the people of Aurora and Kimwarel. At least for the people of Karemeno Dam in Kiambu County, we can see their dam is on progress. We can see the dam in Boake in Kitui County is ongoing. But for the people of Aurora and Kimwarel in a rainy season, Dr. William Ruto continues lying to these people psychologically, economically, and taking advantage of them politically, Miriam, by teaching them the bottom-up approach that is coming in 2022. I'm asking Dr. William Ruto today be on a stand as a Bible-holding and Bible-quoting Christian that he is today. What happened to the 64 billion Aurora and Kimwarel dams that he has been able to consume and eat everything? And he wants to revive the economy, Miriam. Today being on a Sunday, I want to do justice to Dr. William Ruto. What happened to the monies that was brought to revive our economy and be able to build a better economy for the people of Kenya? When you look at Dr. William Ruto today, what he has been able to achieve is only getting a minister from his own tribe who has been able to run down the treasury. And when by the time Henry Rotich left the treasury, he has been devoured by so many scandals, Miriam. And this is something that we cannot be able to forgive or forget as the people of Kenya. When this man opens his mouth in public, Miriam, I remember his past as 8 years. I remember his past in Y92. I remember his past as a member of parliament, hiving off the Gong Forest land, Miriam. I remember him for stealing from Kenya Pipeline, Miriam. It is in public domain, and I want to do justice to him. He cannot be able to speak about the economy of the Republic of Kenya if he cannot be able to account for his past or his history. Remember, Miriam, this is a leader who wants to tell us he has never been doing anything else rather than running for president. He is a new savior coming from us. This is a man with a tinted history as far as our economy is concerned. This is a preferer of public resources. Yes, Miriam?
No. I think it's Professor who is joining there. I apologize for that. Professor.
Thank you. Let me conclude my point, Miriam, by saying that this bottom-up approach that is talking with our lawmakers, meeting people from Mount Kenya, Rift Valley, anywhere. This is just hot air. He wants to continue his reign of terror, of stealing from the people of Kenya, Miriam, and we want BBI to pass very fast so that we can be able to get the big fish. I thank God that the new Chief Justice is coming in so that they can talk about the cases, the corruption cases that we have been running away from, the big fish in this nation, led by Dr. William Ruto and his accomplices, Miriam. People who ran this country down want to come and talk about lifting the economy up after stealing for over that years, Miriam. We cannot entertain such thoughts as the people of Kenya, and I want to warn the people of Kenya. A Bible-quoting and a Bible-holding politician is not a savior for your economy. This is a man hiding behind the name of God and the sweet English to steal from the people of Kenya and enfranchise you. Economically, he cannot speak anything. I have nothing to write about, and he cannot speak anything about the economy of the people of Kenya. Okay. Thank you, Miriam. Okay. I submit.
Thank you so much. And I'm reading from page 8 of the Sunday Nation. Muranga Senator Irungu Kangata, who attended the meeting, told the Sunday Nation that the DP and his economic advisor, Devin D, took the leaders through his bottom-up economic plan, which he hopes to use in his journey for State House. The meeting discussed economic issues. The economic team gave its ideas and we added our views, Mr. Kangata said. I proposed 3 issues to be added to the blueprint: free healthcare, deregulation of the economy to spur growth, and free lunch to school children. Jevan Karanja.
Okay, thank you so much, Miriam, for having me on the show this good afternoon. And happy Mother's Day to all mothers, including you.
Thank you so much.
For the good work that you are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'll say that on the first issue about the June Ruto, I wish her all the best in his marriage. Though I was one of the people who asked the question, you hustlers, because you've been going around saying that the deputy president is one of you, were you invited in the ceremony? I didn't see anybody who called themselves hustlers in that big event. Therefore, that shows that we are, in terms of social class, people are different. I think unless we are joined by political ideologies, this issue of other narratives will not hold water, because at the end of the day, someone is taking advantage of the downtrodden Kenyans. Let me come to the issue of the economy and the deputy president, revamping the economy by the deputy president and his experts. That is David D. You know, it's quite contradictory because we have seen the deputy president. He is not new in politics. This is not a new, he's not trying his luck in politics for the first time. He has been there, as Douglas have said, since 1992. Therefore, we need first of all to look at his history so that we can be able to predict what we expect in future. And when we go back to his history, we see a man who has been in the center stage of ensuring that this economy is not heading in the right direction. One, in 1992, when people were calling for a model where people could exercise their democratic space, where people could have an economic space to grow, Deputy President was part of the team that were opposing that change. When we look at his journey as a member of parliament, we don't see a lot that he did when he was a member of parliament for Eldoret North to ensure that he changes the livelihood of people around his constituency. When he was the Minister of Agriculture, Miriam, we know what happened with the maize scandal and so on. Therefore, and when he came as a deputy president, and this is a fact, he has come to Mount Kenya more than 500 times in the name of opening projects, in the name of empowering people. I want to ask the deputy president, where did these empowerments go? Where did these projects go? Because we've been in Mount Kenya region opening projects, empowering people, and now you are telling us that in 2022, you will come and empower us. Therefore, this shows that those are developments. Those things that he was calling development, those things that you were calling empowerments, they didn't hold any water because you cannot visit a home for 3 times, 4 times in the name of empowerment and you still insist that you want to empower them. You know, it reaches a time when a person who seeks help, when they are helped, they take their space and they start growing so that they can help others. Therefore, we are not seeing that taking shape in Mount Kenya region. Therefore, this issue of telling us that he'll do this, we need to account him for the projects, the stale project that are not ongoing. He has opened empty projects in Mount Kenya region. He first of all needs to come and ensure all the roads that he has promised to the people of Mount Kenya region, in Nyandarua, in Laikipia, in Nyeri, that they are completed and they are started, they are commissioned, so that we can see something in progress. He has come here in the name of empowering the border guys. We need to see those guys who benefited from those devices like the washing machines and so on. How are they progressing with their business? So that we can see whether these things that he calls development really holds or reflects or are something that tangible or something that have changed the livelihoods of these Kenyans. Therefore, at the end of the day, Miriam, my point is, Deputy President has nothing to do with the economy. What he has is to do with the votes, the vast votes in Mount Kenya region. And because he wants to come out as a man who has the capability to change the fortunes, to change the economic fortunes of people in Mount Kenya region, he must come with something. He must come with a model that will sell. But at the end of the day, his aim is to get votes, and that is where he is heading. And immediately after getting the votes, I don't see him bringing all this development. Because if we had the will, if he loves the people of Mount Kenya region, as he says, he could have done something tangible, something small, so that we can see this is what he did as a deputy president. If we give him the presidency, he will do more. But there's nothing to show that he has done to the people of Mount Kenya region as the deputy president, so that we can even think of giving him the votes. Therefore, on conclusion, the deputy president is after the votes in Mount Kenya region. Nothing to do with the economy. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. So these 3 issues here that Kangata said were part of some of the things they discussed during this economic strategy meeting that was being led by economist David D. And Kangata said he proposed to be added in that blueprint, free healthcare, deregulation of the economy to spur growth, and free lunch for school children. Number 1, for the free healthcare, Daniel, the last time I checked, the national government had carried out a pilot in 4 counties to see how they can, as they look forward to President Uhuru Kenyatta achieving one of his very key agendas of the universal healthcare. The government already has done a pilot in 4 counties and ended last year, and we saw the results. So it's working on how to see how some of these things they learned and they gathered, the information they gathered can be rolled out across the country. So that already is in process. And then the other issue of a free lunch to school children. I think if we can solve the issue of food security, then we won't have to worry about that. I don't know. So this economic plan, how do you think it will work out, and will it adequately address what they think is lacking in President Uhuru Kenyatta's government? Never mind they're part of that government. Daniel.
Yeah, thank you, Miriam, and of course, happy Women's Day to you and so many mothers out there, the country and across the world. First and foremost, I'll take whatever William Ruto and his allies dangling before the people of Kenya as hogwash. This is just a carrot, Miriam. They are trying to hoodwink their gullible supporters in that they tell them that they have a better economic model other than what we have today. But whatever they don't realize is that even the people who they were meeting the other time in Masai Mara, the people who have been seen as close advisors, economic advisors to William Ruto, are the same people who worked for the former President Mwai Kibaki, and these are the people who drafted and brought the blueprint of the Vision 2030. So therefore, William Ruto and his allies should not purport to be inventing the wheel when we know that the Vision 2030 is the best economic blueprint that ever happened in Kenya. And today, the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta is doing what it's doing is actually implementing those economic models and recommendations that were put there in the Vision 2030. And actually, most of the flagship projects that the Jubilee government have accomplished is what was envisaged in the Vision 2030. So there's nothing really new the Tangatanga Brigade and the Deputy President William Ruto is going to bring on board, other than maybe just repeating whatever that is there. And that is why most panelists have asked the Deputy President, why can't he do whatever he's proposing to do in 2022 after he becomes president right now? Because right now he's the Deputy President, he's the principal assistant to the President as per the Constitution, and he has the capability, he has the rightful numbers in Parliament and the Senate, and he has cabinet secretaries who are actually allied to him. Why can't he use that channel to push for whatever models or whatever recommendations he has as a Deputy President? Back to the meeting that happened on Saturday at Senator Susan Kihika's home in Karen. I think, Miriam, that was a crisis meeting. And to me, as it appears right now, the Deputy President has realized that his fortunes are dwindling, both in Parliament and in popularity. And therefore, he marshaled his lieutenants, albeit wounded, divided, and outmaneuvered by the other side of the political divide. So to me, these are people who are going back to the drawing board if their mood yesterday is anything to go by. And I go re-strategize if they do not give the agenda much gusto. Then they are more likely to be sent into the oblivion, and putting in mind that we are only some few days to the general election of next year. So there's nothing much, Miriam, other than hula baloo and just selling hogwash to the people of Kenya. I don't buy much into the economic model that is being perpetuated by William Ruto and his allies. I submit.
Thank you. Samuel Tawish. This bottom-up economy, free healthcare, a deregulation of the economy to spur growth, and free lunch to school children. Samuel Tawish.
Thank you so much. You can hear me?
Yes. Okay, we seem to be having a problem with the reception of Samuel Tawish. Once he's able to join, then I'll Okay. All right, go ahead.
Miriam, you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh.
Okay, we seem to be having a signal problem. All right, I think I'll just go to Dr. David Joseph Nyanchama, not David Matsanga, he left earlier. Dr. Joseph Nyanchama, very good afternoon to you, Doc.
Good afternoon, Miriam. Thank you very much.
There's so much Minister in an approach that doesn't really appear so harsh to him. One, it is in the appreciation of Kenyans that Deputy President William Ruto has been moving around, giving all manner of promises and pledges in a bid to woo Kenyans ahead of next year's general election. He's made an attempt to try and wrestle the muscles with the political class in the country, Raila Odinga particularly, and President Uhuru Kenyatta and others, just trying to see how deep he can swim. But I think he must have realized that maybe things are not the way he thought. You remember what happened in Mombasa? I think it was last year. Was it in last year or thereabout when we had that boat actually? Sorry, it was a ferry that actually there was an accident in a ferry where we had one of the swimmers who promised Kenyans and the whole world that he should just be given a record, I think 2-3 hours, will be able to come back with the bodies of the deceased people who actually sank in the Indian Ocean. But now when we went down there, he came back and said things are different. And then this is where now we got the mantra of kwa ground vitu ni tofauti. You get the point? So I think William Ruto has been living a lie. He's been cheated. He has been promised by people who he had rented, people who he has been giving handouts in a bid to actually raise his stakes and draw a picture that maybe he has a huge following in the country. But going by the recent events, Miriam and my fellow panelists, especially on this question of BBI, because it has been a direct avenue within which Deputy President William Ruto's perceived immense popularity has been actually diagonized, and in this case we've made a foregone conclusion that it does not have any support, leave alone from Kenyans, but even the people who have been coalescing around him in the name of politicians who are buying into his ideology and agendas ahead of 2022 general election. It doesn't matter, Miriam, whether William Ruto wants to call this a bottom-up approach, a down-up, or a side-by-side, or whichever way he wants to call it. I mean, there's no difference with what Ruto wants to do with what President Uhuru Kenyatta has been doing in terms, because when you talk about free education, for example, you want to tell me Uhuru Kenyatta's administration is not giving free education today? If you talk about free medical care, especially for mothers, is it not something that our mothers are actually having today as we speak? If you're talking about infrastructure, unless you want to tell us you just want to get the opportunity and increase the percentage of the infrastructure that has been actually put up during President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration. But it will not be true to say that President Uhuru Kenyatta has done completely nothing, and therefore in that case, you're the one who is coming as a savior to do everything within no time. So for William Ruto, I think being strategic enough, that's why you see he's going back to the drawing board and calling the lawmakers, have a sit down and ask them, how have things panned out? I mean, for anyone, even if it were you, you need to do what we will call an audit to find out what exactly, how did things get where they are? How did we get where we are? Because you remember, William Ruto has been actually parading politicians in his current office or residence, saying that he has a backing of so many, or a majority of politicians in the country, and many times even the elected. But when you look into the numbers of the people who go to current, most of them are those who are rejected on the ballot. So, but he calls all the strategies, everybody who's actually not, those people who are not even elected, and he says he has a backing of lawmakers, and therefore whatever kind of agenda he has, if it's about impeaching a governor, if it's about passage or rejection of bills like it has happened with BBI, I think William Ruto had highly banked on the support of these lawmakers to make to actualize his agenda of frustrating President Uhuru Kenyatta. But fortunately, things are not working in his favor, and I think that is why he's going back to the drawing board. The good thing is that continually we need to teach Kenyans and let them understand that this is just a clique of masqueraders who are just trying to actually try and create a gimmick of cheating Kenyans, lying to Kenyans that they have a better alternative to one which President Uhuru Kenyatta and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga are doing. But for anyone who has been in Kenya, at least as far as some of us have lived in this country, President Uhuru Kenyatta has done so far so good, and it's only fair that we give him this opportunity between now and when he'll be finishing his second and last time in office as President of the Republic of Kenya to actually finish and realize on his agenda and more so achieve his legacy. That is the best we can do for President Uhuru Kenyatta. It is not fair for us to continually, especially the political class, to continually or constantly bastardize the president or even frustrate his agendas. For example, what we are seeing today with the BBN, it has gone through all those stages. It has received immense endorsements from the public through signature collections, through the county assemblies, and now the National Assembly has endorsed the same bill. Now we are hoping the Senate is equally going to actually follow suit and endorse this bill so that it can now go to the people of Kenya so that they can vote in through a referendum. So that is the only thing we are waiting to see. And it does not matter how many meetings William Ruto is going to hold, whether in Karen or in Nakuru, Susan Kihika's home or anywhere. It does not matter how many prayers is going to hold. The bottom line is Kenyans are decided, and they're only waiting for the time for them to vote in this new bill, the Building Bridges Initiative bill. Miriam, I submit.
Thank you so much, Dr. Joseph Nyanchama.
Thank you, Miriam, and my fellow panelists. I think, Miriam, for me, first of all, let me thank through you all mothers. Good Mother's Day.
Thank you.
You know, my first video, which I produced, was entitled Lessons from My Mother.
Oh.
In fact, the seventh lesson, which I learned from my mother, was you cannot drift to the top of the hill. You can climb. I learned it from her. And as you climb, you sweat. But you know, some people in Kenya think that you can drift. Let me tell them from the lesson from my mother, being Mother's Day. She told us, I and my siblings, when we tried to bring an excuse of taking too long to go to the shamba at the hill, she told us, don't be silly boys. You cannot drift to the top of the hill. You must climb. And as you climb, you must sweat. What a wonderful lesson from a mother. And let those who steal from the public hear from the mother's mouth, you cannot drift to the top of the hill, you must climb. Get your success by walking the path, not trying to think that you can trip. Having said that, Miriam, as far as the number 2 head of state, who's the deputy president, is concerned, first of all, in fact, let us wish his daughter a nice day in marriage. And we need to know that officially now, you know, where I come from, maybe Professor can agree with me. If someone is married to another tribe, automatically where she comes from becomes the in-law. So we are all in-laws now of Nigeria. What we need to do is to wish her good life and good luck. And in fact, we want to urge Kenyan leaders, of course, the father of June included, the best way of starting a blessing for your children is to be a good person. And if you want to get the credibility of that statement, just read from 1 Kings 11, 12 to 13. You remember God wanted to destroy Solomon because he went against his will. But when he remembered his father, David, he told him, were it not for my son, obedient servant David, I could have destroyed your kingdom. So Solomon, the son of David, was spared because the father was a good man. For all leaders, please, make sure what you do, be people of integrity. That is the only way you can give your children blessings. I hope the message has sunk to those who are doing uncouth things. And number 3, as you said that the people congregated around some people's premises to come up with a new blueprint of economics, that is a lie. I can tell you, if you read between the lines, they only met to ask each other what went wrong. You see, to save face, at least you must be seen doing something. You know, things went very bad in Parliament. And if actually you read the statement they issued, they were contradictory to a certain extent, because One was saying it was a follow-up from the other retreat they had, and they said the people attended were those ones who could not get opportunity to attend. The third one was saying now they were listening to their chief economist indeed to as a forum. Then how do you make a forum from a different category of people? The bottom line, Miriam, is they went, as Tawisha said, to ask themselves what went wrong and what is likely to happen, so that because you cannot start talking of economics as a reaction to a political event. And you know, if they are politicians, and they are, if you make people laugh, you get votes. If you make them think, you lose votes. Are they telling us that one way of trying to get votes is to start making people think on an economic model? No, I can't buy that. Let them be realistic. And for me, one question I wanted to ask the number 2 of the Republic of Kenya is this. You know, he's answering the question which has not been asked. You see what they are doing about model, it is a democratic right, it is his right to tell Kenyans what he will do. But you see, he will only tell it when now the campaign is flagged, where now you, Miriam, as a journalist, you will ask each one of the presidential candidate, what are you going to do? Mm-hmm. That is the moment then he will bring forth this model. For now, he is already in office. Which model is this he's bringing? You know, I get surprised sometimes, my fellow panelists. He is answering a question no one has asked. Let him wait. You journalists among us in the panel, when you would ask him, then you will produce a model David Ndii has helped him to produce. I think he's answering the question at the wrong time, and nobody has asked him. Mm-hmm. I think for now he should join his boss, who's the president of the republic, to continue building the nation. Because you see, there are already very clear 4 pillars of their Jubilee government: manufacturing, food security, nutrition and universal health, and affordable housing. Those are very clear. If they follow them, the country will develop. I will tell you for sure, Singapore developed only on 3: meritocracy, charismatism, and honesty. Yeah? And they developed. Do you know that in Kenya, if we were only even to focus on environment, we would attract even 1 billion guests in form of tourists? You only need to run with a simple pillar. That is why Mahatma Gandhi used to say, simple living, high thinking. I submit Miriam for now.
Thank you so much. And whatever it is that the DPs is trying to achieve here, I think already the national government, Professor, is working on the free healthcare. The national government already rolled out the universal healthcare pilot in 4 counties. So now they're working on the findings and the outcome of that pilot. And the free lunch to school children. As I said there earlier, if we can achieve a food security, then we don't have to worry about our children being hungry in school. So this bottom-up approach by the DP, William Ruto, it's quite interesting, the aspects of it. Professor.
Miriam,
good afternoon.
I want to associate myself with my fellow panelists. And sometimes when you discuss issues to do with the deputy president, sometimes you wonder what you have to say. Miriam, one day, young people came to me already and they was trying to say that when this man was quoting me, he said that when we get married, we are going to use the moon. We are going to use the moon as our electricity in the house, as our light in the house. So they got married. And the young girl could not see the moon. You realize that? Mm-hmm. This is exactly what the deputy president is trying to do to us, to do to Kenyans, Miriam. The member is the principal assistant. He is the principal assistant to the president. They went all around Miriam, having the Jubilee Manifesto, Miriam. They said how they will build the stadiums, Miriam, how we will be having affordable housing, how we will be having food security, how we will be having affordable healthcare, Miriam, on how they will deal with manufacturing, Miriam, under the four agenda, Miriam, which the president came forward, Miriam. What has happened, Miriam? Can he come to Kenyans and he said, Miriam, we promise that we are going to the forest to get you an elephant, but we have come with a squirrel or a rabbit, Miriam. So, Miriam, what you need to do, we have to be very careful that he is having the rights of India as the economist. Which kind of economist, Miriam? What kind of things have you ever seen through India, Miriam? So, in the deputy president, Miriam, what you see talks about is going to give free lunch, Miriam. Who has destroyed the maize in the North Rift, Miriam? Who has brought maize from Uganda, Miriam? You see the Akinawaruka who are bringing Miriam the maize which to and supply to Syrians, Miriam. This is the kind of man we are handling, Miriam. So to me, Miriam is living in denial, and when you are in denial, Miriam is not in 2021. He's already in 2022, he's already in 2022. So the person who is already in 2022, Miriam, what can we say? We are having 1 full year and 2 months, Miriam, into an election, Miriam. So you see, telling the Kenyans we forget all about this year and we start focusing 2022. Miriam, even the kind of members of parliament, Miriam, who are following him, the ones who were in Masai Mara, Miriam. Where are the rest of the members of parliament from other parts of the country, Miriam? You have heard me say, Miriam, I have never seen people from the Nyanza region going to his current resident to discuss about the future of Kenya and how they want Kenya to look like. Members of parliament from Western Province, members from Ukambani, members from Coast, Miriam, members from Northeastern, Miriam. You are not going to have selective, Miriam. And Miriam, he cannot go to Mount Kenya, the backyard of the president, Miriam, to continue inciting those kind of members, Miriam. If you saw the kind of voting, the pattern of members of parliament who voted in parliament, Miriam, 235 members of parliament, more than 233, which constitute of 2/3, Miriam. And if he's going to continue doing this, Miriam, I will not hesitate to give a recommendation, Miriam. We should be able to relieve him his job as early as yesterday so that he can start concentrating on his 2022 agenda, Miriam. And if we are not going to be very careful, Miriam, this man is dividing the country. But I'm happy with the rights of Kimani Ngunjiri, Miriam. He came forward and he said, Miriam, he has to support the BBI. He said BBI is addressing the bottom-up approach, Miriam. Mm-hmm. So what is this, Miriam? May he support the president and the prime minister, Miriam, in trying to unite this country. 2022 will come, we'll go for an election, but this country, Miriam, we must put laws together, Miriam, which takes this country, Miriam. Dr. William Ruto and his team, Miriam, should know how do we build a cohesive society, Miriam. How do Kenyans become proud to say that they are Kenyans, Miriam? How do we fight corruption, Miriam? So with the rights of Ndi, who have just run away from Raila Odinga, Miriam, because he could not get the handouts, Miriam. And some of the people who are just going to him, Miriam, they are going because of handouts. Very unfortunate, Miriam. Mm-hmm. I am not seeing any good thing coming out of him, Miriam. It is outright there and broad daylight, undermining undermining the president. And I've given the recommendation to Jubilee. Let him just throw him out of that party, Miriam, so that he continue concentrating in 2022, or else he comes back and tell us what has happened with all the manifesto he gave us on Jubilee. I submit, Miriam.
Okay. Thank you so much. And that is where we mark the end of our Kenyan topics. So I'd like for us to look at these other topics across Africa. And we start with Nigeria, where right now there seems to be in a state of anguish. A manhunt is underway. All right, we apologize. Okay, Professor. Very well. Good. All right, so a manhunt is underway after night of violence left at least 7 police officers dead in Nigeria's oil-rich River State on Friday. Gunmen opened fire on checkpoint in the southern state and then drove to 2 police stations, killing officers and burning patrol cars, police said. Police killed 2 of the attackers but are searching for those who have escaped. It is not clear who is behind the killings, but the region has seen a surge of separatist attacks on. So I'm just wondering from our panelists, and because I know this Nigerian conversation, we've been having it over and over and over and over again. Is it perhaps about time that African Union formed a mission to go to Nigeria and try to help President Muhammadu Buhari, retired general there, to help him in bringing the security of the country under control? Douglas Kirimi, is it about time AU was seriously involved in Nigeria? Douglas? Okay, very well. I'll go to Javan. Javan is not there. Okay, Tawish.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miriam, for this opportunity. I think we have talked about Nigeria for quite some time, and more so on this question of security. And I think for us just to avoid being, being repetitive on this matter, it's better just to remind President Buhari, because there have been numerous calls from different quarters, and some of us who are like observers and also journalists looking into the situation in Nigeria is not at all inspiring. And it only points to a person who appears to have abdicated his duty, a person who is not very keen on securing the lives and safety of the people of Nigeria. That in itself is actually reason enough for President Buhari to actually call it a day and hang the boots. Because again, we cannot continue singing the same song and continue to see people lives being put at risk. Because again, if you can get a level of telling people to be careful that there will be even attacks when you have the government apparatus that are supposed to ensure and guarantee security for the very people. Because again, the people of Nigeria are paying taxes, and those taxes are supposed to actually provide services for them. And one of the key services is about security. Any country that is not in a position to guarantee security for her own citizen, that government does not have any reason to continue being in place. Actually, President Buhari should call it a day and allow the people of Nigeria to actually get a new administration. That aside, Miriam, you've raised the question of AU, if it is time that they should actually rise to the occasion. I mean, it is not the first time that we've been petitioning the African Union, especially the AU Security and Peace Council, to see into it how they can actually run very fast and try to arrest these situations before they get out of hand. But more often than not, you see the African Union appears not to be listening. Rather, they listen, but they do not take any action. What does it mean? Could be the people who are supposed to take or to make such kind of steps could have been as well compromised. There are people who are held hostage, maybe by certain quarters, and so they cannot, because there could be interest as to why we are having this insecurity in Nigeria in the first place. And that is why you see these people cannot move swiftly to actually institute any kind of action against Nigeria government, or even if it's not about Nigeria government, if they can actually cooperate. Because then what is happening in Nigeria means like it is out of Buhari's administration's control. And therefore it calls for a more concerted effort and approach from not only the African Union. I think we should even be asking the United Nations Security Council to come in and help Nigeria. Because again, if we continue looking at it the way it is now, then suddenly we are likely going to see Nigeria not being a country anymore, Miriam. The Boko Haram and other insurgents in Nigeria are going to completely take over that country, and at that point becomes difficult even to manage. Remember, Nigeria itself has a very huge population in this continent of Africa. In fact, it is the country with the huge or the biggest population in Africa today. It's a country that has the biggest economical potential in terms of even empowering people, in terms of the resources they have. In fact, most of the richest people living in the continent of Africa, a big number of them actually come from Nigeria itself. So it's a big irony that the same country is actually the one which ranks and gets into the news for wrong reasons instead of being an inspiring country in the continent of Africa. So I support what you suggest, Miriam, that it's time probably the African Union, especially the Security and Peace Council, needs to rise to the occasion and see into it how they can attend to this situation before it gets out of hand. Already it's almost getting out of hand, but whatever we can be able to do to mitigate the situation from deteriorating further, I think will be a welcome move, Miriam, I submit.
All right. Thank you so much, Jevan Karanja. I don't know if you're back yet. If not, I think Daniel Wesonga, is it about time African Union got a hold of what is happening in Nigeria and perhaps created a mission to try to just bring some order there in the country? If now the members of parliament are being warned not to go to parliament, then what are we talking about?
Thank you, Miriam. And of course, I'll just anchor my thought on what Rish has already said, that the topic about Nigeria, we've talked about it. And I think the solution does not even lie with the African Union, because when you look at the African Union, it is a toothless dog that has been sleeping all along when atrocities have been happening in Nigeria, amongst many other African countries. And therefore, we cannot put any iota of maybe hope upon IAU to solve the problems in Nigeria. And as you said, Nigeria is having a myriad of problems. But I believe from my own perspective that chief amongst the problems that Nigeria is facing is of governance. And that is due to the laxity, mismanagement, and the rampant corruption of the government of President Muhammadu Buhari. Nigerians right now have not been able to benefit any of the promises that President Muhammadu Buhari and his cronies made to them when they were seeking to get into office in their very first time. Remember, he promised to fight Boko Haram. He promised to fight corruption in the government. He promised to improve the infrastructure and create jobs for more than 200 million Nigerians. But all that has been dashed because as it is right now, the security situation has been deteriorating by the day. Corruption has been entrenched into the institution of Nigerian government. We have the dilapidated infrastructure in Nigeria. And therefore, we have a leadership failure in Nigeria. And the only solution will be if the people of Nigeria are given the free will and the mandate to change their leadership, to bring on board someone who can be able to seriously address the crisis that they are currently facing. Miriam, I submit.
Thank you so much. Douglas Kirim, if you can hear me. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miriam.
All right, so I was asking, or the initial question that I asked is maybe about time the African Union formed a mission to go into Nigeria and try to help President Muhammadu Buhari to get the security and peace in that country under control.
Miriam, Muhammadu Buhari continues pretending that the situation in Nigeria is not severe, but just about 15 minutes ago, a town in Umuahia has been raised, an estate in Umuahia has been raised down by a non-government. And the situation in Nigeria is very despicable. We cannot be able to continue massaging the ego of President Muhammadu Buhari and the cabal of leaders who continue advising him at Asorok, because Muhammadu Buhari continues presiding over a ruralist Nigeria, a Nigeria where armsmen reign more than the government, where people, armed gunmen, continue raining terror to on the people of Nigeria more than even government has been ever in control in Nigeria. We cannot allow Muhammadu Buhari to continue sacrificing the lives of Nigerians the way we have seen. I've seen many Nigerians have coalesced around many movements to be able to compel Muhammadu Buhari to leave power. Miriam, the only thing the African Union, the UN, and every other person of goodwill or organization in the world can be able to do for the people of Nigeria is to let the people of Nigeria let go of their president. That is a man that is not in charge. Nigeria has become a laughing stock in the Committee of Nations. Nigeria continues defranchising the people of Nigeria. The people in Nigeria are weary. They have no electricity. The government has not delivered good roads. The government cannot protect its own people. They would rather have security so that they can be able to look for their daily bread. They cannot continue depending on Muhammadu Buhari to keep security tight in Nigeria, Miriam. Every day Nigeria continues sinking under the very eyes of Muhammadu Buhari. And the only thing the president does is to get his media aides to continue giving statements, and he cannot be able to speak out on that situation, Miriam. In this country, Arun, if you kidnap a nursery school kid, the president will speak about it. But in Nigeria, it is the media people who are attached to the president who continue giving false statements that the president is in control of their nation, and they are not. The army in Nigeria is no longer powerful. The police force in Nigeria is no longer powerful, Miriam, to be able to curtail the movement of these, the Fulani men, the gunmen, and every other group that is in Nigeria, Miriam. So for the people of Nigeria, my prayers are with you, but you need to let go your president. You need to let go. The AU needs to be able to come in and force Muhammadu Buhari out of office, Miriam, because there is no commission that can be able to save the people of Nigeria where they are. They cannot wait for 2023 as long as Muhammadu Buhari is in power, Miriam. This is a president that is not in charge. The military itself in Nigeria has failed the people, the police force, everywhere, Miriam. People are crying in Nigeria. You can be called today in the morning to go and get a job in town and get kidnapped. And then huntsmen or wherever they are, you continue asking for ransom and you pay ransom in Nigeria. That cannot happen in any other African country rather than Nigeria. And Miriam, I'm calling on the AU, the UN Security Council to call on President Muhammadu Buhari to leave power because he's a toothless president. He cannot protect the people of Nigeria, Miriam. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Douglas Kirimi. Dr. Joseph Nyanchama, is it about time African Union formed a mission to go and help President Buhari, because it seems to be things are out of control in Nigeria?
Miriam, I think being even Mother's Day, do you know that even a mother in the village, when she discovers her children are food insecure, she will never even sleep. She can walk 1,000,000 miles to search food for her children.
True.
Similarly, a leader of a nation whose citizens he swore to protect are insecure and has failed even to move one step to protect, has no business or moral authority to be in office. In fact, this statement of it's high time the guy left has been repeated in this forum for a long time. In fact, I want his advisors to go and read the strategy of Abraham Lincoln. You know, Abraham Lincoln went beyond, more than any head of state, to read his power of leading a nation. That is why he said, what matters, it comes a time, what matters is not the constitution nor anything else, but the life of the people. That is why, in fact, he said one instant when the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice, criticized this action, this is what he said: I felt that mothers otherwise unconstitutional could become lawful by becoming indispensable to the preservation of the Constitution through the preservation of the nation. And they asked him, can you preserve a constitution after the nation has been lost? And that is why he was making bold moves. And I would appeal to the Nigerians and the African unity, please, to spare the life of the Nigerian people by taking appropriate action. If defeated, seek augmentation from the UN Security Council. Life is supreme. That's why we talk the purely supreme left is a maxim applied across the globe. That there is nothing that can go beyond the welfare of the people. And the African Union, please, the welfare of Nigerian people is supreme and outweighs any other interest of any person you are supporting. If you have any other interest, there are a lot of evangelists, and I repeat, still talking about prosperity. Can they go back to Nigeria and put sanity in their people? Do you know there are billionaires evangelists? I know you know them, didn't. Where are they? Every person is needed now to support Nigeria, to spare the poor children who are being killed like chickens. I submit Miriam.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Joseph Nyanchama. Prof, we've had too much conversation on Nigeria and its insecurity. Maybe it's about time the AU went in there, formed a mission to Nigeria to try to bring the insecurity under control. Professor. All right, I don't know if I can get hold of Professor, but I think I'll just move on swiftly and go to another topic that we have this afternoon, and that is on Somalia, and of course convoys of troops allied to the opposition.
Miriam, I'm here.
Oh, all right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Miriam, we have to look at the objective of African Union, or Organization of African Union as it was then. It was to ensure that there is peace and security in the continent of Africa. Miriam, as we speak today, and as I was reading news, Miriam, some schools in northern Nigeria, Miriam, they have been closed because of the security of the school guards, Miriam. That being the case now, if you cannot protect the properties and the lives of the people, what is expected of you, Miriam? So what we need to do now is to ask African Union, you know, as United Nations, I've had one of our friends saying that the United Nations should come in string. The way United Nations is structured, Miriam, in a Security Council, Miriam, they give the opportunity to the regional bodies. So African Union and ECOWAS, they should move in swing and secure Nigeria. If we lose Nigeria, it is going to be a terrible thing to the continent, Miriam. Where are we going to take a population of 200 million people? You know they are going to move out of their country, Miriam, as refugees. So the best that we can do, the question you are asking is the time that the African Union moves in. African Union could have been moved there as early as yesterday and take action and secure Nigeria. We are not going, we have discussed too much and taken a lot of time discussing about what's happening in Nigeria. When it comes to peace and security, Miriam, there's no negotiation. People need security, Miriam, so that they can be able to do their day-to-day work. And if you are a president, Miriam, you were elected, and sometimes when I look at President Buhari, he said within 100 days, he will crush Boko Haram. What happened within the 100 days? The Boko Haram took more than 200 schoolgirls. And those schoolgirls, a few of them have been released, and some of them have been forcibly married. So African Union move in and secure Nigeria if you want peace and progress in Nigeria. Otherwise, Nigeria is going to divide into pieces, and it is not going to be the interest of African Union and even United Nations. And I'm asking Kenya, we have the privilege of Miriam of sitting in the United Nations Security Council as a non-voting member. So, and I know President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is a true Pan-African leader. He should not sit down and see Nigeria going to the dogs. I submit, Miriam.
Okay, very well said. That is Professor Jared Onyari, and that brings us to another country, that is Somalia, that seems to be making a move towards the right direction, and convoys of troops allied to the opposition were seen withdrawing from Somalia's capital, Mogadishu, a fortnight after clashes in the city sparked fears of a return to civil war. The withdrawal is the result of a new political negotiations aimed at resolving a bitter dispute over long-delayed elections. Their sudden arrival in the city last month led to clashes with pro-government forces and an exodus of civilians. There was widespread fear that brinkmanship by the country's political elites was pushing Somalians back towards the days of clan warfare and anarchy, but under international pressure, President Mohamed Abdullahi Mohamed, known as Farmajo, backed down on his controversial plan to hold on to power for an extra 2 years. Election talks have resumed, and Somalia has even reached out to its neighbor, Kenya, look at us, to end a separate crisis and restore diplomatic relations. And there are a couple of issues there that Somalia might want to address while they're going on with these negotiations, and one of them is the centralizing government that has been pitted against powerful clans and regional leaders. The other one is the enduring strength of Islamic militant group that is Al-Shabaab, and a range of other humanitarian crises. But the country that often makes the news for all the wrong reasons has embraced political compromise and persuaded an assortment of armed groups to leave Mogadishu in peace. That is some good news, Douglas Kirimi. Because we've been on Somalia as much as we've been on Nigeria.
Miriam, I've been very hard on Mohamed Farmajo, and I thank God that the man is seeing right at the end of the day. And also, for us as the people of Kenya, we are happy that the president of Somalia is also seeking out settlement with the people of Kenya and the world at large. This is what we have been talking about. This is the kind of a democracy that we have been talking about, a functional state where we can be able to come together and be able to resolve our issues. So I believe Mohamed Farmajo has had his own Damascus moment. And at this point, Mohamed Farmajo is going to be able to now leave Somalia completely in the hands of a different president who is going to take the nation forward, who is going to see beyond where Farmajo has been able to take Somalia, who is going to build on what has been built by other presidents to be able to take Somalia forward. So I believe he's not going to participate in the next coming election. I hope now this is a Damascus moment for him to be able to leave Somalia in the hands of another man so that they can be able to build a better Somalia. And I also wish the people of Somalia the best as they plan for the upcoming elections, because now the man has been forced to cower and also now leave the people of Somalia in good hands, Miriam, because these are good gestures. All these diplomatic overtures that the meal of Qatar has done to Kenya, and also every friend of Somalia has been able to do. This is what we have been praying for Somalia. And also I remember that all along, Kenya has been together with Somalia for the good of Somalia, for everything that has been Somalia. We've been together with the people of Somalia, but I hope Mohamed Farmajo is not going to offer himself for election in the coming election, Miriam, because this is a down of a new Somalia. I believe Somalia is going forward, but he should not offer himself for election in the coming elections, Miriam. I submit.
Thank you so much, Douglas Kirimi. Well, yes, we're waiting to see if Farmajo would want to come in and be a candidate as they continue to, organize for another election. We don't know when that is, but the negotiations are underway, and I think that is a good thing. But there's something to be said, Dr. Joseph Nyanchama, about Farmajo finally embracing a political compromise for the good of the country and the people of Somalia. I know he was coerced, but he agreed.
Miriam, let me now, because today is Sunday, although I'm a 7-day, do you know, by the way, I don't know whether my fellow panelists knew why God wanted to use Saul as his agent to propagate his word. Saul was so passionate about the hatred. He hated Christians. And when the Christians heard his name, they could scamper and hide even below the table. People hated him, but God still was on him. Do you know why he wanted him? He wanted his passion to be converted to be positive. He said, if you can convert that passion of hatred to become positive, his word could go far and wide. That's why he hit him and slept for 3 days. When he came back, he became Paul. And you know what he said? The things I used to hate, I now love. And the things I used to love, I now hate. Farmajo, he used to hate Kenya. That's why he was conspiring with the outside enemy to go and claim an asset which he knew was not for Somalia. As Kirimi said, indeed, this is a Damascus moment. A moment, in fact, Farmajo needs to be congratulated for hearing the voice of God. We are not going to say that it's international community. It reaches a moment when God's voice is heavier than any other voice. And we need to tell Varimajo that this moment, Your Excellency, you took a right decision. Let the sleeping dogs lie and unite with your colleagues, President Uhuru Kenyatta, and let us build the East African region for the benefit of our people. And I want to congratulate the panelists. In fact, me, when I started the discussion here, every day, Klimi almost used to jump out of the seat. I was asking Professor, who is this man hated by this panelist? He says, this man called Varimajo. I wish to congratulate all of you, the Wish, Wesonga, and others. Sometimes you may think your words are small. I usually tell people, if you think you are too small to transform this world, then you have never been in bed with a mosquito. Do not underrate your words. Varimajo has heard. And I want only to say this. Can all the relevant ministries in the two governments quickly take advantage and streamline things, and let us not go to each other with a clenched fist, because you can never shake a hand of another with a clenched fist. And let us rebuild a new nation. And you know, you will be read in history. The president is listening of our country. If you transform Somalia, take advantage. And I know soon they are going to withdraw their cases. Very soon, I'm telling you, Miriam. First of all, I want to congratulate all of you, because I do not underrate your words. Because every day, you never missed, Miriam, to discuss Somalia. Can you take credit? Oh, Miriam, I submit.
All right, thank you so much. And that's why you have to continue talking about Nigeria until the security is under control. A doctor has just rejoined us. Dr. Somalia now is open, and I think it was big of President Varimajo to embrace political compromise. But is it about time that the other leaders of these other federal states, especially Jubaland and Puntland, also came with an open heart and mind, and, you know, for the sake of the country, to move the country forward?
Close. Funga.
Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Miriam. Dr. Joseph Nyachama, maybe he didn't see I was also around. He should have given me congratulations for having been the high voltage man. High voltage man on Somalia.
Dog, your stewardship was implied.
Yes, I trained a high voltage man, another younger high voltage called Kirili, sharpened him on the Wesonga, and I and the Tawish, we have been there before, and the media, we have been telling people the truth. And Dr. Onyari, we said this thing, our troops are in Somalia. Surely, we have a lot to lose if we don't engage the Somali people. And it is not, and I want to make it clear, it is not Kenya that cut relationship. It is Somalia that cut relationship. Not Kenya. Kenya did not cut any relationship. Kenya did not close any embassy. Somalia closed the embassy. Somalia closed its embassy, packed its bags, and left. Kenya did not. So it must be known to the international community that as much as the Qataris have done a peace deal, let them know and follow it. I want to follow further. And I want Sean Wesonga do the necessary of these photographs so that they can be sent direct, as all of us are on the show, direct to Varimajo, so that he knows we have forgiven him for all. Can you do it now? We have forgiven him for all he has said. And let him also forgive us. We forge a better Africa. We forge a better Horn of Africa. Let's have a united stand against any form of dictatorship, any form of war that comes in the region. Ours is a simple mechanism. We are not part and parcel of a regime that is going to support Al-Shabaab. We hate Al-Shabaab. Therefore, let it be known this peace is time to reflect. And I want to thank African Union for the first time again. They have now appointed the Ghanaian former president, Mahama, to be the AU peace envoy, high envoy, ambassador to Mogadishu. That means to bring about political cohesion that was lacking in Mogadishu. I am very, very happy that this relationship came. But as I conclude and I submit that I will not be happy if the case is not taken away from the ICJ. I am moving tomorrow and a group called Deterrent Group, which we formed to stop, to ask Kenya and ask Somalia to remove the case from ICJ. If the ruling in September goes ahead, we shall have a war in the Indian Ocean. What are we trying to avoid? We are trying to avoid a war in the Indian Ocean. I beg to move. I beg to thank you that I miss the other part of Nigeria. But I have one word for Nigeria. Nigeria is a land under anguish. Can somebody help? Can the president of Kenya, as the chairperson of PSC, convene an urgent meeting for Nigeria? Nigeria is falling to pieces. People are dying, abducted, killed, maimed, raped, tortured. All types of bad treatment is taking place in Nigeria today. I therefore call upon the people of Africa to rise up, support our cause. This television has done a great deal in supporting the cause of a united Africa and Africa without conflict. I submit.
Thank you so much. Samuel Tawish on the same, Somalia.
Thank you so much, Miriam, and my fellow panelists on that. I think like Dr. Masanga did put it, Punchline Africa TV and most of us have really been piling pressure on Somalia, and not necessarily President Farmajo alone, but I think sense to prevail in Somalia as a country, for them to understand the essence and the importance of having peace and maintaining security in the country so that they can rebuild that young nation. But I think, with time, such efforts are paying dividends, and we are seeing that President Farmajo, being, of course, the leader of that government, is trying as much to actually put things in order finally after he was trying to, of course, go offline. But I think the kind of pressure that we've been piling on him, the kind of, the shows that we've been having, especially in Africa TV, have really played a critical role in actually pressurizing President Farmajo and his administration to see the need to actually give that which the people of Somalia do desire. But I'm equally worried, and I'm of the opinion, Miriam, that the continued kind of insecurity we're witnessing in Somalia, especially at a moment when there's that ceasefire for actually a discussion and compromises to be stricken in as far as having an election is concerned. Remember, it's over, I think, for almost 3 months now when that election should have been held, that the election has not been there. So we want to appeal that President Farmajo himself or any other political player does not actually create an environment which is not going to be conducive to actually conduct this election, or even an election that makes it impossible for all political stakeholders to have actually a table meeting for them to decide what is going to be the way forward. In any case, the people of Somalia are now pregnant, including the region. They are pregnant for this new dawn. They are pregnant to have this election, and their expectation is nothing less of having that election. So any kind of side shows that appear to actually divert attention towards having this election in Somalia will be disastrous, and I think that is not the way we want to go. I also want to thank President Farmajo himself for actually the concessions in terms of realizing that at long last, he really needs, he cannot be alone in this region. that he cannot actually tirelessly work to create enmity and bad blood between him and the neighboring countries, especially Kenya. So in this case, I laud him so much for listening to the advice of the stakeholders in the region and beyond, especially Qatar, that has actually intervened in terms of the peace talks that you have seen, and now getting into that trajectory of seeing how they can work together even with Kenya moving forward. This is the East Africa that we want. This is the Africa that we want. This is the world that we want to live as humanity. We do not want to see a region that is disintegrated, because again, when you are disintegrated, you're likely going to fall, and the enemy will find it easy actually to prey on us. So it is a good gesture that we are seeing more and more countries in the region coming together. We are also appealing. For example, you saw what happened between Kenya and Tanzania, President Suluhu coming over and having those talks with the Kenyans and saying now she wants to take Tanzania a different direction altogether. She wants to restore the relationship between Tanzania and Kenya. And then suddenly we saw also, the representative of Qatar government coming to Kenya, talking to President Kenyatta after they had actually pursued President Farmajo to see into it how they can work together. We want to see the same actually happening even between Uganda and Rwanda. That kind of, fiasco surrounding the misgivings between the leaders that trickles down now to affect the ordinary Mwananchi is what we do not want to see moving forward. So, Miriam, in my last submission, I want to say that I really laud President Farmajo, and I hope that he continues in that trajectory of seeing into it how everything can be done within his ability, that elections can be held in Somalia, because then again with that election, everything now can come into its rightful place. Miriam, I submit.
Thank you. Daniel Wasunga.
Thank you, Miriam. And of course, my commentary will be just to laud Dr. Matsanga David and the wider Punchline Africa TV, because if it were not for the publicity that brought out the matter to the international sphere, then Farmajo will not have had the goodwill to actually suspend the impunity that was ongoing in the Somali government. And therefore, sometimes beneath all this silent diplomacy, we need a voice that could actually raise the contentious issues so that all the stakeholders internationally and locally are able to see and act upon them. So I could say, in essence, this television station is what Reverend Al Shamton is to the cause of Black Americans in the US right now, raising concerns about matters of racial discrimination and all that. And in our regard, we've been raising about matters that have not been going well with the Kenyan diplomatic relations policy and all that. And it is a very, very big part on the back to Dr. Matsanga and other panelists and the entire Punchline TV fraternity. I submit.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Jared Onyari.
Yes, Miriam.
Yes, on Somalia.
I want to say this, Miriam, that, I am a true Pan-African. I have a lot of passion for Africa. I love Africa. That one you need not doubt. And my desire, Miriam, is to see the people of Africa living in peace. Psalms 133, verse 1 says, how blessed is it for brothers to live in harmony. God designed in a way that we and Somalia, we have to be neighbors. Whether we talk to each other or we don't talk, we will still remain neighbors. So the best we can do is to live in harmony. And I want to say, Miriam, that I did not congratulate you and the rest of the mothers telling Mother's Day, Happy Mother's Day. I don't do that because I tell that those who have mothers that you should be able to be happy with your mother all the days of the year, 365. But I want to say what has happened in Somalia. I want to attribute it to Mama Samia, the president of Tanzania, Miriam. You saw when she came to Kenya, you know what she said. All the relations were restored, Miriam. And it was an indicator to the Qataris and the rest of the people, and saying that the president of the Tanzania has done very well to restore the relationship which we have within the region, Miriam. And very much, Miriam, let everybody say that you congratulate him, Miriam. They say that a wise man changes his mind, but a fool doesn't. You know, he wanted to extend his term in office. The rest of the world African Union said no. And Miriam, to the rest of the Somalis, our brothers and sisters from Somalia, Miriam, Kenya is part of them. And it's going to be out of office, Miriam. If you are having problems in Kenya, where are you going to go? So he has seen far, and I want to thank the rest of the panelists, Punchline Africa TV, Dr. Masanga, that Africa is in a crossroad, Miriam. We have got work to do, Miriam, and we cannot run away from it. We have to discuss. We have to engage. We have to have a conversation. I am doing a paper which I will be presenting on 26th this month on the state of governance in Africa, Miriam. We cannot keep on, Miriam, talking about the situation in Africa. We want to live in harmony. We have coexisted with Somalis for so many years. Remember from that brother of ours, you see, Abdi, who is living in Norway. You heard him saying that his father was part of the Mau Mau. So we have done this business together of trying to have a united and a cohesive Africa and gaining the independence of Africa, being proud that we are African. And I'm looking for the day when there will be harmony and peace in Somalia so that the Somalis can remove from all over the world where they are scattered. There is no country, Miriam, you can go and you don't find Somalia, simply because there is no peace at home. Let us use this opportunity that we engage. Even the case which is before the International Court of Justice should be removed, Miriam, and we give negotiation and mediation a chance. It is a good thing, and I want to thank that President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, being the chairman for Africa Peace and Security, you can see the fruits, Miriam. All manner of things have been said to Kenya, which even would push us, Miriam, to go to war. But we have chosen the route of peace. We have to coexist with our neighbors. Remember, Miriam, if you just push Kenya, see what is happening in Southern Sudan. See what is happening in Ethiopia. See what's happening in between Uganda and Burundi. Miriam, we cannot afford to have problem with our neighbors. Sometimes when there's problems in Kenya, Miriam, I see refugees. I see the people who are not of Kenyan origin, Miriam. They say, now, where do you want us to go? So what President Farmajo has done, I say that's a good thing. And it is good, Miriam, to live in harmony with our neighbors. It is good to be civil to each other. Miriam, I always even tell Farmajo that if you want what you want to do, some people, if you don't want it to be done to you, don't do it. If Farmajo, for instance, did not want peace with Kenya, then most of people want peace with Kenya. But I want to say that Qatar has come to the realization that you cannot destabilize Kenya and the world watches. We have got international friends who could just put a lot of pressure, and this is exactly what has been done. And with the conversation we have been having here, the debate, the discussion, Miriam, I think even if they don't listen, we have done our work. I submit.
All right. Thank you so much. And that brings us to our next topic of today, and that is President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda, that is expected to be inaugurated for his 6th term. And on the 5th of May, that was a few days ago, the State House in Uganda issued a revised number of presidents expected to grace President Museveni's 6th inauguration ceremony, lessening it to 11. 12 countries. State House Communications Secretary Linda Nabusai said that 12 countries are represented at the level of Vice President, Prime Ministers, and Ministers of Foreign Affairs. Mr. Museveni has been in power for 35 years now, and he was declared a winner by 58% of a poll that was marked with contestation and violent electoral lesson that claimed over 55 lives, leaving hundreds arbitrarily behind bars. Opposition figures maintain rhetoric that the election, now on course of extending Museveni's NRM party rule for 40 years, was irregular with security forces, at the other hand, claiming they have intelligence that dissidents are planning mass protest and a counter-swearing ceremony on that day. A group of people led by former presidential candidate Robert Kyagulanyi, aka Bobi Wine, have since urged masses to indispensably challenge Mr. Museveni's re-election. So I don't know, what is your opinion? President Museveni is looking forward to be inaugurated for his 6th term. Doctor, could you start it for us, Dr. David Matanga? Okay, he's not there. Douglas.
Miriam, thank you for,
Miriam, wait.
for that. What I think General Museveni is supposed to do.
Miriam.
Okay.
My son, let me open. Because I might be called a coward. No, I'm not a coward. But I am a freedom fighter. I want to state facts. I am a man who accepts the rule of law. I'm a man who accepts peace. I am a man who would like to see a peaceful Uganda. I am not a militant. I am not Al-Shabaab. Neither am I a militant who would like to divide Uganda. The best thing and the best practice in the world is this. Once, and I repeat, once the Supreme Court of a nation has declared that the verdict of the elections was X, Y, B, Z. That is the end of me. I end it there. I don't have any extra means. Those days I used to have extra means. When Kirimi and Wesonga and were still in their primary schools. I'm one of the hardcore rebels around the region. I have no regrets for having fought to bring peace in my country. I did fight the battle. I will make a speech, a very passionate speech, and a very good paper that is going to be published, Miriam, widely, on Wednesday morning. I welcome the presidents who are going to Kampala on Wednesday, including President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Because it is a constitutional obligation that once the Supreme Court of a nation decides on the fate of the elections, you cannot start fighting the government or trying to install a president similar to you. You will be committing treason. I want to be honest. Not because I like President Museveni, no. And I don't hate him personally, no. I hate his policies. Some of the policies of President Museveni are not very good. Some are good. Like going into Somalia to crush this stupid men. That is very good. In fact, I encourage him to crush them. If you have the, if you had allowed us, we Ugandans, and look at my face when I'm talking, if you had allowed us, if you had allowed us, we would have dealt these guys to Indian Ocean. All of them. Miriam, all of them, including, they would be in Indian Ocean. Do you know what? clean. It will be smelling very nice. That one is one policy. I agree with President Museveni. And they will not change me. Whether you are Bessie J, whether you are Bob Wine, first you have to come by accepting some good things that President Museveni has done first. You don't just go and start lambasting to any international community. There are good things and there are worse things that have been committed. One of the things, and I want to be very candid, Kabisa, some of the people opposing President Museveni today, media, are the same people who made the laws that are oppressing us today. I want Kirimi to tell me which category I can put them. I want Wesonga. I want Professor Dati Don Onyari Don. Professor Onyari. I want to tell me which category I should put these people. I want Joseph Nyachama to tell me the category. For example, Dr. Besigye was the political commissioner who detained us, who detained millions and millions of us as UPC supporters and Obote's men. Foolish. So when you are detained, should I laugh or clap? I'm not going to criticize Museveni for her. Neither do I want anything from him. Haki ya Mungu. The only thing I want from him is my money. And I will die talking about my money. Whether President Uhuru Kenyatta hears, whether in Kenya or London or anywhere, I need my money. He took my money. And I will not be shy. I will not be shy. I went to Kampala, I did a peace process. When he was going to kill me, that money was not his money. It was my allowances. It was the EU and the UN and the African Union paying the allowances. And the President Museveni said he would pay the allowances. He conned me my money. Let him look for the person he gave the money. I never got that money, Mr. President. If you don't give me that money, we shall meet at God's palace one day. I will still ask for it. But despite all that, I am the most happiest man on planet Earth that I brought peace to my country. I brought the peace to my country. I went into Garamba and looked for rebels who had killed people, and I sat them on the table. Show me what you have done for your country. Show me anybody who criticizes me. Show me. Apart from taking the oxygen. Show me. I brought peace. You cannot talk about Northern Uganda war without mentioning Matsanga. Yes. What have you brought about apart from gas? Gas around the gas. Yes, show me what you have done. I only need my money. I don't have a quarrel. President Museveni knows who took my money. The person who took my money is called Amelia Chambade. She never gave me the money, Mr. President. She was the one who was supposed to give me $320 and $32,000. She said it will come on 7th. It never arrived. All the people who did the Juba peace talks, Riek Machar is my witness. He's the deputy president of South Sudan. He's my witness. He was the chief mediator. I never received my money. Mr. President, I would have been killed by Kony because I was looking for the peace for my country. That was my sacrifice for my country. But I never got my money. I was conned. And the minister who took my money is called Amelia Chambade. She was a person of principal private sector. If Rufina Karema is hearing this, find out where that money went. If it was drawn from Uganda coffers to purportedly to be delivered to Matanga, I never got it. I will talk when I'm still alive. I'm not going to talk when I'm in the grave. Apart from that, Medium, my position is very clear. Once the Supreme Court of the country has declared that the elections were free and fair, Mr. Chagulanyi, please stop these younger games. Don't try anything. Just reorganize for 2025. Full stop. Or 2026. Let's reorganize for 2026. Please. Don't bring people to the streets, please. Leave it. Ugandans have borrowed money in order to survive. Don't destroy their property. I am not in agreement with anybody going to destroy the property of the people of Uganda. And I'm not a party to it. Therefore, if we are to learn constitutionalism, and to you, the panel, I want Onyali to give me the words of forgiveness. I have learned forgiveness. I've moved on. I've lost a father, I've lost a wife in the hands of some people. But I've moved on. I've tried to bring peace. The word reconciliation came from me in northern Uganda. That's why you see those who did not agree like Ongwen, and they went ahead to fight. They were arrested somewhere else. But the people of Uganda and northern Uganda today are peaceful. Therefore, all the hundreds of thousands, over 100,000 men and the women who returned to northern Uganda, nobody has raised a gun to fight the government. They are trained, by the way. They have been, they have been assimilated in the Uganda People's Defense Forces. And they're working, they are the most hard-working army that is working in Mogadishu. That's why you see Kirimi can smile a bit in Mogadishu. Those boys are very hard workers. They know how to crush you when they want to crush you. And I want to thank them for the good job they are doing in Mogadishu. Those were the men in the Lord Resistance Army, most of them. So thank you very much. I want to thank you, people, that whatever happens, you are my witnesses. I have not said, once the constitution of the country comes to the end, the Supreme Court announces itself, and the verdict is there. When whatever you are doing now, you are doing against the state. Thank you. I submit.
All right. Thank you so much. Doctor, I think you've summarized that topic for us. And in the interest of time, I don't know if anybody has anything to say on the Ugandan story.
I think
Go ahead, Dr. Nyanchama.
I think for me,
Dr. Nyanchama, go first.
I think for me, as Dr. Masanga said, if the Supreme Court of Uganda has pronounced itself, it needs to be respected by all the abiding good citizens, including those who are seeking for presidency. And for the Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni, he has been in power for 35 years. This is the moment, as I'm saying, he needs to reflect. What has he achieved for his people and what will he achieve? As a Christian, you know, Jesus Christ lived only 33 years, but he achieved a lot. The impact is read up to date. Methuselah lived 969 years. And you can guess what his impact was. You know, he misread the essence of age. He thought that life was about marrying day in, day out. I'm not talking about marriage in this context so that His Excellency may misinterpret my lips. What I'm saying, put the age at the top of the development map. Let people read you, Your Excellency, that you ruled for many years, but your years were compatible with the development of the people of Uganda. Miles Monroe said, don't die old, die empty. That means give your best for your people and you will be engraved in their hearts. This is all through Uganda's, because he has ruled for many years. I take the opportunity to urge other leaders who are still in office, who have been there for so long, to know that being so long in power has nothing for the people unless you cause an impact that will be read in history forever and forever until all of us are called to glory. In that case, please serve the people. The East believe a little fragrancy clings to the hand that gives you roses. Let the good scent, Your Excellency, remain in your hands as you leave office at the appropriate time, so people read to you in history. Miriam, I submit.
Okay, thank you. That is Dr. Joseph Nyanchama. Anybody else?
Miriam, I have something to say before we conclude.
Go ahead, Professor.
Yeah, Miriam, I want to wish President Kaguta Museveni, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, I want to wish him a good time in his 6th term in office. That is a good thing to do, Miriam, because the presidency is a symbol of unity to a country. No matter how provoked are you, once is there, respect him, because we have got, I always say, Miriam, election is not an event, it's a fact. They did the recruitment, they talked about scientific, he went in, he was declared the winner. The Supreme Court, as Dr. Masanga has persuaded us to believe, has also said that we can be in office. And what I want to say, Miriam, that may he consider to pay Dr. Masanga his money, which he worked for. That is not something he's asking as a favor, but it is his money which belongs to him. And Dr. Masanga asked me, Miriam, to say something about forgiveness.
Yes.
The true meaning of life, Miriam, is forgiveness and reconciliation. And when we forgive each other, Miriam, we don't do a favor to anybody else. We do a favor to ourselves. And Dr. Masanga, I urge you to find time and have place in your heart to forgive President Museveni. You have done good for the people of Uganda, good for the people of Africa. Our reward, the Bible says, is great in heaven. But Miriam, when you watch a drama, you watch a play,
When it reaches at the peak, Miriam, that's when it ends, and it must end in suspense. When we have seen leaders come and go, see what happened to the president of Chad. People decided to just to eliminate him. So, as I have wished President Kaguta Museveni good time and nice time in his 6th term in office, may he plan to get out of office. May he prepare himself to empower the next generation, Miriam. We are born, we live and die. Let him not die in office so that he can destabilize a country. He has done the best he could. He was a young man when he took power. He's not an old man. Let him just hand power to the young generation. The way Dr. Masanga did to hand power to Bob Wine and this generation. We cannot be there for forever. I hope I've persuaded Dr. Masanga to forgive. I hope that President Museveni has had me telling him to pay Dr. Masanga's money. I hope he has had me saying that may he prepare to hand the baton to the next generation. Unless he does that, all the good work he has done to Uganda, if he thinks he has done it, it will one day go to a drain. Because the younger generation who were born before, after he has entered office, may not come to know that he was a national resistant army who tried to fight and bring Uganda to where it is. I submit, Miriam.
All right, thank you so much. Anybody, for the interest of time, is there anybody who would like to add something there for President Yoweri Museveni? Yes.
For interest of time, I think let's make it tomorrow.
Okay.
That other topic is very important. The implications of ICC and the rulings on Africa. But before all of you go, I would like to tell you that our shows will begin from tomorrow at 9 with a new program that we cannot go on. I don't know, Kirimi or Professor, are you there, sir?
We can conclude and then we talk about that after we're done.
Oh, sorry,
Yes.
sorry.
You're still on air.
I thought you had concluded.
No. All right, thank you so much for watching. This has been Africa Showdown. Thank you, Dr. David Matanga, Dr. Joseph Nyanchama, Daniel Wasonga, Samuel Tawish, Douglas Kirimi, and Javan Karanja, who left the conversation a bit earlier. We shall see you here as Doctor. There you heard him say from 9 a.m. East African time. My name is Miriam Ogutu. Bye-bye for now.